Hello, 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 hello. Welcome back to Breezyville. We are doing a Breezy review. If y'all are new here, hit that like button, ring that bell for notifications. Please subscribe. We are over halfway with my goal to reach 100 subscribers. I really would love to get that 100 by the end of December. And I know we can do it, guys. Come on. But anyway, here on Breezyville, we talk about a variety of stuff. And we have many podcasts on here. As you can see, we also have a breezy review, and this is one I've been waiting to talk about. As most of you know, I started watching this show called Little Fires Everywhere, and I did not watch it when it first came out, but I started watching it because I kept seeing all these great clips. I was like, okay, I gotta watch this show now. But anyway, wow, did episode 8 take a turn? Oh my gosh, warning, there are spoilers if you have not seen the show, but so it starts off in July 1991. There is a lemonade stand set up, and Izzy finds a bird and brings it home. Whereas Alina walks in, trying to figure out what is wrong, and Lexi volunteers to help her clean up a mess. Izzy tells her that at least the bird is okay, and Moody tells her that the mother rejects it forever now. Think how symbolic it is, and how we need to put a pin in that one, okay? But think about it. That's very symbolic, especially given what's about to happen and everything. But now let's jump forward to 1997. When Elena's alarm goes off, she is making tea when Bill comes walking through with the pillow and the blanket. So it's very clear they're sleeping separately now. And he basically tells her to. She basically tells him to take it upstairs so the kids don't see him. He also brushes her off when she tries to apologize, and he is livid and trying not to snap at her at this point. Rightfully so. And Elena sees. So let's go to where Elena sees is what Izzy puts in the garbage. She grabs her shoes and goes to Izzy's room and asks her why she threw her shoes away if they were planning on returning them. Izzy tells her that's what we do in this family. We throw garbage away. Elena walks off, and then Lexi gets up. And Lexi tells her that Brian broke up with her. Elena tries to comfort her and tells her that she can stay home. Meanwhile, at Mia's, she is trying to tell Pearl what happened. Pearl is clearly upset. She's a teenager. Her whole world is falling apart. And Mia is trying to handle the aftermath, and Pearl goes to school. Now, Linda is taking the stand, and BB's attorney is bringing up race as an issue, and Linda successfully defends her answer. And the attorney asks her why she changed her name. Now, Mia is trying so hard to keep it together when she sees Linda, says that she is her mother, and Alina is really needs to stay at. Honestly, Alina really needs to stay at home. She's getting on my nerves at this point, and I think it's obvious at this point. But her presence is annoying me. Yeah. But Mia is at the grocery store shopping and is listening to a tape at Sugar Heights. She grabs a bunch of flour and it looks like she's going to do a strange art project with it. Keep putting in that, okay? So, meanwhile, at Linda's, Alina drops by to check on Linda. Linda is with Mirabelle, waiting for the results of the trial, and Alina is trying to help Linda with Mirabelle. She says, "Mama." This gets Linda excited, and Alina is going through something when she said that. And I think she's starting to reminisce on her kids and all her kids when they first said stuff like that. Now, Bill pulls into his driveway, finding his garbage bag in the yard. He grabs the garbage bag, takes it up to Izzy's room, and tells her to keep her head down and try to get through it. And he gets upset with her when she points out what he's been doing by sleeping on the couch and everything, because kids notice this stuff. So, Kylie! So, meanwhile, Pearl finds the flower and goes into Mia's studio. She sees all the connecting dots, and Mia and Pearl get into an argument about what she finds. And Mia tries to talk to her, but Pearl is not having it. Pearl wants Mia to call her dad and tell her that she is alive. Pearl storms off, and Mia is obviously upset at this. Now, I think it's important to note that this is two different types of upsets. Meanwhile, Mia pulls up the card and dials the number to Joe, Pearl's dad. And Madeline answers, and Mia tries to talk, but she chickens out. Madeline figures out who she is, and Mia hangs up. Alina snooze with her doctor friend. Remember the doc when Lexi got her abortion? About her friend that was there? Yep. So she goes snooping. She tries to tell her, and Alina points out that she owes her. She basically is trying to blackmail the doctor at this point because she's not getting her way. And she then goes snooping through her computer and then find information out. She then sees a file with Pearl's name on it. Yes, remember that little tidbit about how Lexi could not use her actual name? And this made Pearl so upset. Well, Pearl goes to the junkyard, and Moody is there catching them in the act. And Moody is rightfully upset. I mean, he likes this girl and everything, but Moody basically shames her and results in a fight between the brothers. And while Alina walks in, seeing Moody with ice on his face, she confronts him asking if he knew about Pearl and the abortion. Moody tells her to check in with Shrimp and tell her that they have been seeing each other. The phone rings and it is the verdict. Izzy is watching the news and she gets upset about the verdict. So, Moody is angry. Izzy puts him in his place, and this in turn upsets Moody. Moody is upset about the abortion, upset that Pearl had an abortion. And at this point, Izzy figures out that it was Lexi who had the abortion and goes to confront her. Lexi threatens to tell Elena, and Lexi points out that she would never believe her. Lexi is also awful. Like, she is a little Alina all over. And I don't think. See, here's the thing. Lexi has a rude awakening for her whenever she gets done because Alina's following her generation, what she was taught, and Lexi's doing the same thing. Everything. And I think that Lexi has some character growth that is not much, but it's something. So, meanwhile, Izzy goes to Mia, confronts Bibi, who is heartbroken. Comforts Mimi, who is heartbroken, while Pearl and Trip are talking in the junkyard, and he is telling her that she needs to quit blaming herself. Pearl is visibly upset, and I can tell that she is not sure that what she wants to do with Trip. She does not want to be with Trip, and Trip is trying to convince her not to end things. And I can tell that Trip actually likes Pearl. She also brings up Moody at this point, so he's a factor we have to remember. Now, Mia and Izzy are talking about what just happened, and I do love that Mia and Izzy have like this bond. And Mia tells her about being pregnant with Pearl and watching a prairie fire. And Mia tells her about what she learned and how she utilized this as a life lesson. Mia is listening intently, Izzy is listening intently to her, and she sends her home, and Izzy tells her that she wishes she lived with her instead of her mom. She tells her she'll see her soon, which really is an open door ending because that could mean anything, and I don't think Izzy caught on to it. Now, back at the Richardsons, Alina and Bill are home. He is still giving her a cold shoulder and a silent treatment. Bill asks her if she needs something. Alina tells him about the abortion. Bill brings out the check from New York, and she tells him that they met and had dinner. He brings up 15 years ago when Alina is telling him and Alina is telling him that she's a good person. Alina is losing it at this point. Like, that perfect mom is like going away at this point. But they get into this argument about giving her freedom and how he brings out how Alina is always turning things into her. Sound familiar? Lexi gets it from Alina. And he is clearly upset. He goes for a drive to and brings up the Passy. Remember the Passy from a few episodes back we talked about? Yep. Now remember the comment from a few episodes ago? She then goes to tell Mia that she is not renewing her lease. And Alina tells her about the abortion, and Mia gives her an I know something you don't know look. And they get into an argument about how they are living a life differently. She points out that it was Lexi who had the abortion. Mia tells her that I want you out by. Alina tells her I want you out by morning, and she spots Pearl on the way out, and she's confused why Alina is not talking to her. Now Alina gets back into her house, looks for a wine opener, and Izzy is trying to tell her that it was not Pearl, but and Alina has became unhinged at this point. Now back at the Warrens, Mia comes clean to Pearl about her dad. and the life that she would have had. And this is hard for Mia to tell Pearl because you gotta think, up until this point, Mia chose to keep Pearl instead of giving her up like that. And it was her brother's death that really impacted her decision. Now, and tells her the reason she gave Bibi the money. Pearl hugs her and she tells her that we can't stay, can we? And Pearl invites her into her studio before they start packing. Meanwhile, Bibi is crying. Mia is taking photos and with Pearl, and Linda hears Mirabel cry. And before Linda can get up, Mark reassures her that they do not have nothing to worry about. Put a pin in that. Now, Mia and Pearl head off, and she takes off the bumper sticker that Pearl put on there, and they drive to Richardson's, and Pearl gets out. She puts a key in the mailbox. Izzy sees this, sees them driving off. She then gets upset. Mia asks where they are going. Pearl tells her, I know where I want to go. She gives her the option to go to New York, and Izzy runs down the driveway, sees the key that Pearl put in the mailbox. Linda goes to check on You remember how I said put a pin on this now? Linda goes to check on Mirabel and finds that Bibi has kidnapped her. Why it's all coming full circle at this moment. And Izzy goes to the garage and starts to put gasoline on her clothes. The garage and goes back upstairs room and starts to put gasoline on her clothes. Now the kids come rushing into their bedroom, and Izzy tells them that Alina kicked him out. Alina notices what Izzy is doing. Izzy tells her that April was her girlfriend and Mia was a mentor, and Alina tells her that I never wanted you in the first place. Alina's completely unhinged at this point, and everything, but Alina tells her that, but anyway, Izzy then runs off, and Moody tries to beg her, but Izzy runs away. She's 15, she runs off. Now, Lexi tells Izzy tells her mom, this is where Lexi's character growth, I had to give her credit, but, because she could have just kept her mouth shut. But Lexi tells Alina that Izzy is not the screw up that she is. She comes clean to her about how she is not as perfect, that she had the abortion. She stole Pearl's story for her essay and everything. And Alina snaps at her, telling her that she is perfect. Lexi did taste the gasoline, and the guys started gassing things up. The three remaining Richardson children start taking fire at everything. Also lets Izzy run off. Alina is so unhinged at this point, and Trip gets Alina out of the house with Alina being unhinged in the bed, and they get out of the house. Meanwhile, Bill is driving up. He sees the sirens. He pulls off and sees the sirens going past him. He then gets to his house, and everything is in slow motion, seeing the fire and everything. And this is where we go back to the scene at the beginning of the show, the very beginning of the series. Do you remember what I'm talking about? Where the kids are saying she'll find a way to put this back on Izzy and everything else. But Alina ends up telling him that she sets the fire, and she did not, and she did this to protect her children. And I think this is also her way of realizing that she really does love Izzy, but she just realized it too late, and she regrets it now. Meanwhile, we see Mia at a gas station. We also see Bibi is with Mirabel in Niagara Falls, and this scene becomes full circle. If you ask me, and everything. And Alina goes to the rental and is looking for Isabel, and she then goes to find her. She cannot find her. She's freaking out, and Alina sees the height, and is crying. Izzy is in a dream where she's sees Mia and Pearl, and she gets in the car. But this, like I said, this is all a dream. But she wakes up in the middle of the road on a bus, and everything. And I think this is also symbolic because she's 15. She's at that tender age too. Like she doesn't fit in her own home, and she finally finds someone, and she's just lost. She's confused, but she knows who she is, and she just wants her mom to see her, and that's too late. Now Lena realized too late she loved Izzy. She loves Izzy, and like her other kids. Well, we see Pearl and Mia pull up to Mia's parents' house. She asked her mom to read something that she wrote. We did see Pearl going up to the door, and she looks back at her mom, almost asking if it's okay. And this is where Mia agrees. Mia is reading the Pearl wrote, and Pearl knocks on the door. You remember the flower that Mia got? That's what I told you to put a pin on? I think this is symbolic too because this is a representation of Shaker. Elena spots it, sees it in the cage, and I feel this is important enough to know that I almost don't think it was intended for Alina. I think it was more intended for Izzy to see. Let her know that you don't have to live in this cage of Shaker. Meanwhile, Mia gets out of the car and goes into her parents' house and everything. But wow, this was a very, very, like, wow episode. But I would love to see season two. Finding out what happened next. Do Linda and Mark get Mirabelle back? Does Phoebe flee to Canada with her being close to the border? Does Alina get out of the cage? She put herself in. There's just so many unanswered questions I want answers to. Overall, I'll give the series an 8 out of 10. There are so much more questions and answers, so much a cliffhanger that I need the answers to, and I want season two to come out so bad. But both Helena and Mia are clear representations of people who were cut from the same cloth who chose different paths in life. I also think that Lexi would go to Yale and that repeating a cycle of expectance, like she's expected to return to Shaker and do all of this. I feel like Trip and Moody began to heal. And Brian goes to Princeton and we see a cycle repeating itself all over again and everything. But that is it for this episode. Um, Join me next time as we discuss a new series. Tell me a series you want me to review and to watch and everything, and I will get and leave it in the comments. But y'all have a great day.